In Cui Cui, you play as a fable come to life as a small shadow bird named Cui, whose greatest danger in life is light itself. Should the player be caught in them for too long, Cui will begin to burn and they will be sent to the last checkpoint. So timing and careful navigation around the light rays is key. Aside from natural sources of light, the regions you traverse will be menaced by the great light bird Azar. Azar has been blinded by his desire for greatness and as a result has filled the region with light and heat so intense the local wildlife has been forced to live within the shadows and the land has become dry and barren. In the hallway level, the player is taught the basic mechanics of flight and carrying objects. Near the door, the player will be prompted to pick up a golden bag to place on the pulley system next to the doors. Doing so will unlock the doors and enable them to enter the observatory level. The observatory level begins with a cinematic to introduce the player to the new area and some of the mechanics they will be using. First, the camera will move to the birds in the center of the room. Freeing these birds is the ultimate goal of this section of the game. Then, it will move to a cluster of vines that the player will be able to burn using the projector system that is revealed next. When taking control of a projector, the player camera will move to a set position in the room to increase the player's field of view and make aiming easier. The player will be able to burn a vine cluster surrounding a pulley system using the first projector. When using this pulley system, the player will be able to close the shutters blocking their path and gain access to the projector on the table. Upon entering the second area, Azar will begin circling the lower half of the observatory. This will cause the curtain in this area to blow up and light up the center of the area periodically. The player will need to time their actions to avoid being caught in the light while maneuvering the projectors in this area. By chaining projectors in this area, the player will be able to gain access to the stairwell that will lead them to the upper portion of the observatory. The next stage of this level is currently in development for its next iteration. This is how it will be laid out. Immediately across from the stair exit is an elevated platform with a tapestry. This particular tapestry tells the story of the immediate aftermath of Azar's rise to power.
The great second sun soon brought misfortune to the humans that created it. Their light that shined upon their great cities saw them crumble. The warmth that grew their crops turned to heat and burned until nothing would grow. Soon there was no place left for the humans to live and no food for them to eat. The great sun glowed high above the ground, surrounded by heat so strong they could do nothing to reach or stop it. All they could do was flee, far away, while the animals they'd care for took to the shadows among their nocturnal friends, who welcomed them into their homes to escape the heat.
There are 5 tapestries planned to be placed throughout the game. Each one tells a piece of the history of the world, and a few contain hints to solve the puzzle at hand. After the player triggers the tapestry, Azar will fly through the room and begin circling the exterior of the observatory. As he passes holes in the walls, Azar will activate projectors set on the upper platforms. These are needed to burn away the ropes holding the compound lens in the center of the room. On this platform, Cui will need to adjust the projector between Azar's passing. Once all of the ropes have been burned away, the chains will snap and the compound lens will fall, freeing the other birds from the light trap it had created. The breaking of the lens opens a path to the next level. The final level that we have to display at this point in time is an exterior level that takes place in the desert surrounding the observatory. In this section of the video, we demonstrate the singing mechanic. Using this mechanic, Cui will be able to make friends with nearby birds and call them to his aid to shelter him from the sun. Though the singing mechanic is still in development and only on display in this region, we do intend to implement it at an earlier point. Throughout this level, to gain the assistance that you need to move past, as the birds that you call to your assistance gradually become overwhelmed by the heat and fall away, you will need to find other birds and help them. The companion bird AI primarily focuses on navigating a set patrol path and following Cui as a companion to shelter him from the light. Cui will also encounter Azar in this level face to face for the first time. The Azar AI is more complicated. It must navigate a walking and flying path, and when triggered, will follow and attack Cui. Currently being tested in this area is the idea of a twister that can be used to give a brief speed boost to Cui. The current plan for the playthrough of this final region will involve combining all of these abilities with the singing ability to navigate through the desert. The assistance of other birds will be crucial in this endeavor, as you navigate between towers to arrive at the final boss area, which will involve a confrontation with Azar himself. In the final boss encounter, Azar will also feature a set of tasks appropriate to the confrontation.